welcome back to another video. So today I'm behind the wheel of the Caterham 620S. I still can't quite believe it myself, if I'm honest. Like, ever since getting behind the wheel of the Super 7 in September and experiencing almost every single other model either on track or through a loan, the 620S was always up there with like a priority of a car I had to get behind the wheel of, and I mean, so far it hasn't disappointed at all. It's absolutely unreal. The power of this thing is just absolutely mind-blowing. The car's actually finished in a Lamborghini colour of Viola Pacife. I hope I'm saying that right. But it just does the car so much justice, I think, because it's a larger chassis and it's obviously such a ridiculous car, the ridiculous colour works. I mean, it's got the same power to weight ratio as a Bugatti Veyron. I mean, I'm not really sure many other people can compete or even say they've got anything close to that, apart from probably Koenigsegg or Pagani, those kind of like hypercar manufacturers. But for something that you can pick up for 50k, it's just unbelievable. Oh, this thing's absolutely ridiculous. I'm a bit annoyed because I woke up at 3:30 this morning to start this video off and obviously get down to a nice road, I guess, to really experience this car properly, and it's absolutely foggy as anything. I mean, I can literally see about maybe 300 yards in front of me at most at times, and that's not what you want with a car that does 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. I mean, luckily I know this road really well because I drive it almost every week, really, whether it's just to kind of have a drive for the purpose of some fun or for work. And I think had I have not known what this road was like or where the corners are, etc., I mean, this car's scary enough, and not being able to see too far is absolutely terrifying. But luckily, when you know where the straights are, where the good corners are, you can still have a bit of fun. It's quite incredible, really. Because I mean, I don't know if I should be admitting this, but I'm only 23 years old currently. My birthday is in 2 weeks from when I'm filming this, so I'll be 24 very soon. But when I was kind of 16 or even younger growing up, had you have told me I'd be behind the wheel of something that kind of does, I mean, even anything that does kind of 130 mile an hour plus at this age, I'd been like, not sure you can trust me. But my goodness me, this car, it's making me speechless. I mean, compared to the 170R that I drove last, this is a completely different animal. I'm almost tempted to upload this just as a raw video, so I can give my true expression of how this car's making me feel. I think too many kind of crops and cinematics, it kind of almost ruins the feel of this whole experience, because for me, unbelievable. I'm probably going to use that word about 1,000 times during my week with this car. Especially when I have to fill it up for fuel. Because those prices really are unbelievable. I think for the equivalent that I'm going to spend this week on fuel, you could probably have an all-inclusive holiday in Costa Rica or almost anywhere in Greece or that kind of Canary Islands. But I don't think you'd have as much fun. its legs for the first time. Got into a kind of residential area now, so I can do 30 and perhaps you'll be able to hear me a bit clearer. You might not be able to hear anything I just said, to be fair, so the intro might be ruined. But yeah, this thing is just an absolute animal. I think even through experiencing, I mean, I've been in passenger in 2,000 brake horsepower GTRs, 1,000 brake horsepower twin turboed Hurricanes, like almost any supercar. I think the only thing that kind of gives me a similar feeling from what I can think of off the top of my head is an SLS Roadster, where that thing just went like straight line power. That's probably the only car I can really compare it to, which is bonkers really if you think about the kind of price difference. I mean, this car is just absolutely mega, and for 50k you're not going to get anything that's going to put a bigger smile on your face. It's as simple as that. I mean, you could argue that you could buy a classic or perhaps your dream car for that money and you'd be happy to go out in it every day, but the amount of adrenaline and just pure enjoyment and excitement out of this car is just, you can't compare it to anything else. All I can say is, if you get the chance to get behind the wheel of one, just do it. Yeah, I think you can probably see my raw emotion for this car. It's just blown my mind to think that, I mean, you could even get such power out of any car, really. I mean, I couldn't even begin to imagine what it'd be like to drive a hypercar, because of course this car's kind of 50k roughly in value. I think if you were driving something this quick that was, say, £1 million in value, it must be terrifying. I can understand why no one wants to put their foot down in their kind of Pagani Huayra or or Koenigsegg even though that's what they were built for. You're not going to risk £1 million on a bit of fun. Which is where Caterham comes in as the top of the market, really. Because where else and what else are you going to get in that you can actually enjoy the car and not worry too much about the value? One thing's for sure is that it's going to be almost impossible. I think it probably will be impossible for me to get in something that's faster than this. Because obviously with its horsepower per tonne, and I mean a 2 litre supercharged engine, something this light, unless I get behind the wheel of a hypercar at some point in my life, which I don't think I'd trust myself to do, it's probably never going to happen. And for that reason, I'm going to enjoy this experience as much as possible this week, no matter how much it costs. Video when we did the North Coast 500, who was my co-driver for that trip. He won't be getting behind the wheel today, but I thought it'd be funny to get his reaction from the passenger seat, because obviously me driving always is going to feel quick, but I think as a passenger, cars always tend to feel quicker, and especially as Huey's only experienced the kind of 170R and the Super 7, which have like half the power, I think a third of the power. So yeah, it'd be interesting, I think, and quite funny to get his full reaction on what he thinks of the car. So he's just coming in now, and we'll introduce him. So what do you think of the size? It's a bit better than the 170R, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot better, because I'm quite a large shape. This actually sits really nicely with me.
Even legroom.
Legroom's really good.
You can stretch your legs fully out, which is nice.
Because I'm 6 foot, probably about just short of 18 stone sniff, and I fit nicely in here, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's not bad going, to be fair, for something that's
ever so small.
Lightweight, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get on the road.
Buzzing, let's do it.
Right, so we're in second gear. You at it this way, same power to weight ratio as a Bugatti Veyron. I think if you were in second gear in a Bugatti Veyron, it would be a bit much.
So what you're saying is, it's going to be quick. Whoa! That's going to be some good butcher.
I didn't even consider about taking you until you take your hat off.
Instinct of the hat. Wow. Blimey, you've only got one pair of pants on that.
I needed a nappy getting in the first time, I'll tell you that.
I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that. Whoa. That was brilliant.
I didn't even look at the speed, it was probably about 30 mile an hour.
Yeah, I reckon nothing more than 20, I think.
No.
Wowzers.
Apologies for the lack of continuity. I'm now in a different set of attire. I've still got the same polo on as the previous clip. But yeah, just to kind of conclude the video really. I mean, luckily I've not concluded this video like I did with the Abarth, where it was also my last day with the car. So I have still got this for 5 days. But I think the weather kind of as of Saturday, which is in 2 days time, onwards is going to be a bit trash. So to get out today, and I've done a video in a day, which I think is actually the first time I've managed to do B-roll, GoPro, voiceovers, all this kind of stuff actually in one day. The only thing I have struggled with is the drone, so I might have to go out tomorrow and top that up with some drone footage. But yeah, overall, the car, unreal. I mean, like, in terms of my kind of perspective of how I thought it would go, firstly, I thought I wasn't going to feel comfortable to actually put my foot down at all when I was first kind of looking up the power and all the weight and all this kind of stuff, and it's quite scary if you just look at stats. But actually driving the car itself, the tyres are like glue, and I think obviously after them being warmed up and stuff, and luckily the sun's been out so the roads are completely dry, I mean, it's just as safe as any other Caterham really, in my opinion. I think obviously you do have to kind of have some level or experience in previous Caterhams to get behind one of these, which is understandable. But yeah, I mean, I just couldn't have asked for a better day to do the first video really. It's been quite incredible. I've had Huey with me for part of the trip, as you saw, with him experiencing the kind of acceleration for the first time, which I think he enjoyed. And yeah, so I'm not really too sure what my next video will be at the minute, because I've kind of done 3 on a row with the E-Type, the Abarth kind of road camping trip to Cafe the Machine, and then finishing with this beast really. But yeah, so I should be putting this up either just before or after my birthday, and I think it couldn't have come at a better time really, because I mean, what kind of a birthday present is having that for a week? It's unheard of. But yeah, so thanks very much for watching. Hopefully my kind of information that I laid out throughout the video was roughly on point with what the actual specifications and statistics are on the car. Obviously not really doing this as a profession, but more as a hobby, so don't take anything too seriously. I don't want all kind of like the comment warriors at the bottom of the video kind of saying that I've missed this and that. Obviously know that I'm not going to get it perfect, because I'm just kind of enjoying the experience. Like and subscribe for potentially lots more content to come. I knew I'd mess up at the end. Lots more content to come. And yeah, thanks for watching.